Beloved Incompetent Stepmom. Yeah, that's the one I've been looking at, because, like, what is this? You know, like, what is that? You know what I mean? You know, there is a degree of when people make fun of Webtoon, I always want to be careful to not just make fun of, like, you know, a lot of times people will just shit on something just because it's stuff that, like, girls like, and I want to be careful not to do that, you know? Just be like, I hate One Direction because I wish I was Harry Styles and I wished all the girls liked me. Like, but yeah, Boyfriends is not that bad. It's just cringe. Its worst crime is being cringe, at least up to where I read. Um, and it was just too much cringe with the voice acting. But on its own, it's like, if someone tells me they read Boyfriends, I'm just like, yeah, it's really not the worst. It's not the worst. With the voices, though, it is very hard to survive. But, my god. This one is also like, what? My, I can't stop thinking about this one. We gotta check this one out. What the fuck is this? What is that? Holy crap. 52 episodes. You know what? There's a big genre of, there's a lot of people, like, a lot of these, it's like, reincarnated as a kid. But there's also a lot of them where it's, like, reincarnated as, like, a mom. And you're like, now, you know, either, like, she becomes a stepmom or, like, adopts the kids of the Duke or whatever the fuck, and it's like, it's not a bad premise per se, it's just the execution. You already have 4 spots? What are these 4 spots, bro? What possibly could be the 4 spots, my guy? Is there any that aren't goon bait? Ugh, yeah, you're asking for too much. I fear you're asking for too much, Greg. I think you're asking for too much. The it's Webtoon. It's Webtoon. We're in the romance section of Webtoon. A good amount of them are just gonna be like, I have considered actually making a board for days where we do something other than Webtoon Bingo, but the board is just about stuff that happens in the stream as a whole, or that I do. Whenever I get discouraged when I read a comic, I've noticed that I say "of course" a lot. I'll just be like, "No, of course." So that could definitely be on there. You know, many options. Many options. Not so secret fetish. Okay, well, give it a minute. Give it a minute, okay? We don't talk about the cover for the brushes, okay? We're talking about the webtoon. You can't unless it's the title. You can't do that right off the bat, okay? We gotta. Holy crap! There's 42 new episodes on top of this. Most of it is guesswork. Yeah, but you can't just, bro. You can't just, like, preemptively fill the entire card. That's not how bingo works. Right? Let's give it a go. Although I will say, considering this guy is called Duke Iceberg, or my bad, Archduke Iceberg. Oh, hell no. You're telling me this motherfucker is called Archduke Iceberg? I think that might actually, that might take the cake. That might take the cake. Oh. The sound effects don't work. That's... Oh, I turned it off. My bad. I know how to fix that. That's not a problem. Now we talking. Puts pressure on the competition. Oh, yeah, I do have that one in my sound effects, but I don't have a button for it. Let me pull up a button. Let me get a button. I'll get a button sound effect. Okay, I like this one. I like this one. Okay. Okay. It's not that bad. I don't read any of the ones that are that explicit. It's just a lot of them will like... I've read too many comics, okay? In fact, there's even this one comic that I enjoyed. It wasn't my favorite, but it was pretty solid. And it was basically ruined when it was like, oh, I'm so nervous. Me and the Duke have to do it tonight. And then it turns out now he's in love with her. He wasn't... At first he hated her, obviously. But now he's in love with her, and he couldn't resist. He had to go so hard that she couldn't walk anymore, so... But that one's not that common, so I might remove it, to be honest. Also, what's that? What's that? Was it Loki given what's his name from Killing Stalking? At least that's what it gives it on the surface, because I've never read it, and that's one, look, there's only so much bad I'll only go so okay? So, but yeah, I think I will remove that one from the board just because it's usually for later in the comics. We don't get that far. It's just at first, I wasn't, at first I wasn't, going off of like what we were seeing a lot. I was just going off tropes that I could think of that I really did not like. So that one can honestly go. That's a good point. I'm gonna take it off the list so that whenever I remake the card, it is out of circulation. Okay, and then I'll add one too for the main character's position as the title. So like this one, the incompetent stepmother or whatever, beloved incompetent, whatever it's called. Beloved incompetent stepmom. Yeah, but it's not there now, but it will be in the future, okay? It'll be in the future. Alright, so I'm still not over Archduke Iceberg. This the guy that sunk the Titanic? Huh? Anyways, okay. Dismissed as incompetent and neglected by her family, the Duke's daughter... Oh my god, the Duke's daughter is marrying the Archduke? The Duke's daughter, Elsha. Are you fucking kidding me? Elsha is marrying Duke Iceberg. Okay. What's next? Olaf? My bad. Olfla? Man. Anyways. The Duke's daughter, Elsha, probably just gonna call her Elsa, is suddenly ordered to marry the infamous Archduke Iceberg. Huh. a war hero. Well, if anyone has the main character's has been to war, he's a veteran, you can mark that one off your card. A war hero feared for his ruthless reputation. Rather than despair, she seizes this chance for a fresh start, but upon arriving at his manor, she finds the Archduke missing and is instead met by his wary adopted sons, Wilbert and Hugh. Interesting. Who had no idea their father was remarrying. With an absent husband, distrustful stepchildren, and a manor full of secrets. Can Elsa carve out a place for herself and find happiness at last? The Duke Iceberg and Elsa is too much. I'm making note of that. I'm making note of that. Yeah, Wilbert's hut is exactly what I was thinking of. Not gonna lie. Alright, I'm kind of scared. Like, what is this? Archduke Iceberg. I'm not over that. You're getting a duke and his last name is Iceberg. Come on. Come on, bro. You're doing too much. You're doing way, way too much. Oh my god. Most of my memories take place within the walls of a spacious mansion, all on my own. Well, I don't know, it doesn't seem that spacious, it's kind of full. Used as a political pawn by my family. Well, that's kind of the usual, bro. That's kind of the usual. Kind of the usual. Baron Armchair. Nah. If only they used these as a joke, you know, like as a parody, you know, Archduke Iceberg or like Baron Armchair, and he's a psychologist would be really funny. Or he's just like nosy, but I'm making a list. We have Keyboard Smash names, but this isn't Keyboard Smash. It's a little too, it's like so on the nose that it's like up the nose. You know what I'm saying? I was forced to marry into the house of the Archduke feared as the warmonger. No, of course. If you hear me suddenly stop, it's because I'm writing. I gotta add, Tamed the Beast to the next bingo board if I don't have anything like that. Because there's too many of them where it's like, she's the only one who can suppress the beast in his family. Like, okay. You know what? At some point it'd be kind of fun if we read like boyfriends or something on the stream. We couldn't read that much, and I would probably like try to voice act it as seriously as I can, which I don't know how serious that would be, but but we could like make the board beforehand, and then like, you know, plan, you know, what we think will happen, and like what we know, you know. There's a new season that came out. Apparently, a friend told me. I gotta look into that eventually. I gotta refresh, catch up to date on the boyfriend's lore, you know. But I never would have thought that this was the fate awaiting me. Okay, it's like the My In-Laws Are Obsessed with Me knockoff, which is a good comic, by the way. I do enjoy that one. I haven't caught up to that one in a long time. I gotta check that out again. From what I'm seeing, My In-Laws Are Obsessed with Me is just like better, so what the fuck? Starting up a little too strong, huh? Oh god. Just give me a second, guys. Guys, just give me a second. I gotta show you something. Okay? I'm not even gonna bother saying. When you see, you'll know. When you see, you'll know, okay? Spot the difference. Impossible challenge. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. No, no. No, 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 no. Yeah, Li means love interest. Yeah, I do put a lot of shorthand in there just because there's not. Yeah, 0% survival skill is actually one I wanted to add, but I don't think I remembered to write it down. Like survival instinct of a potato. Bro, even the like frowny blushy face. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the gang. Um we're like 2 panels into a comic, by the way. Like we're playing Webtoon Bingo, and we just had to do a little intermission to greet a familiar face in the comic. All right, that's enough of looking at that. We don't need to get the flashbacks. Oh boy. We wouldn't last a day without you. Neither me nor them. Nod, nod. Anyone got verb sound effect? Black hair, sharp eyes? Yep, that is black hair, sharp eyes. Yep. Yeah, anyone got flower glitter brush? You can mark that one off. The beloved incompetent stepmom. This has to be some sort of mistake. Okay, but like clearly they're doing the thing where they like fast forward, right? And they're like, this is gonna be them in the future, but right now they hate each other. That far in the relationship, it wouldn't be like, this has to be some sort of mistake. What? They actually like me even though I've spent months winning them over? Well, yes, you spent months winning them over. Several months prior, House of Duke Sonberg? Artificial sugar is actually a really good name for it. You know what? I'm writing that down too. I'm writing that down too. I'm taking as many notes as if this was a lecture, bro. Anyone got 3D assets? 3D assets, anyone? Anyone have 3D assets? 1, 2, 3D assets? If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna need a... Gotta give these dudes a chance. How fair of you. Wow. Like I said, the doodle will be coming later today. Originally I was gonna spend the first like 5 minutes of stream finishing that up, but yeah. Clan. Ah. Okay. Preemptively, if anyone has the like family, what's it called? Like family or haters, or family is abusive, any of those, then we're good to go. 3D horses, honestly, should specifically add 3D horses too. Evil sister, that's another one that could go on there. Please do be more careful. His wife. Oh no, is this gonna be like a Cinderella thing where that's her daughter and that's not the main character's mom, so she gets also assets? You wanna get the assets, the acid brushes or whatever? That's also one. Forgive my blunder. The first family dinner in 6 months. It's stifling, to say the least. Duke of Sonberg. Here they say just Duke Sonberg, and here they say of Sonberg. Warlin, pull yourself together. This clumsiness does not befit someone set to marry Archduke Iceberg. I already forgot his name was the Archduke Iceberg, and wow. Every time it gets, every time. But dump. Mary, why is her face suddenly so high? Her mouth so high up on her face all of a sudden. Mary, what are you talking about? If I remember correctly, it was the central. Anyone got prologue info dump? Bro, I don't even think we're gonna have to read 2 comics. I think just based off of this one alone, we're gonna have fucking bingo. No, literally. Forgive my blunder. Just say my apologies. Or I apologize, even. He was the central figure in ending the long-lasting war between Sunray Empire. What are these, like, weird, like, French knockoff names? In the neighboring Silvoa Kingdom. Infodom. Okay, let's go. Always on top of the pile of corpses. Also, just by the amount of ice things they've put. Yeah, if you have, like, Duke of the North or a Secluded Duke, that's another one for the board. He indiscriminately turned everyone on the battlefield, friend or foe, into frozen, icy statuettes. Not just statues. This is how he became known as the Warmonger. Because he fought in a war? What the fuck? Yeah, let's call every veteran the Warmonger. What the fuck? They're not the ones who started it. What? Oh my... This... Yeah, no, I think this is gonna be one for the books. No, let it go. Truly. Thor even claims he killed his elder brother in order to become head of the family. There were endless rumors circling around about him, each more disturbing than the next. What next? He has a talking snowman called Olfoff? Like, hello? Also, long-haired blonde protagonist, anyone? There's just infinite, bro. Infinite bingo glitch? What? There was nothing to be discussed. There's nothing to discuss. It was ordained by His Majesty. She didn't even try to discuss anything. She wasn't like, you know, can we talk about it? She was just like, I'm supposed to marry him? He was just like, yeah, Majesty ordered it. Like, that's such an... Rumor dump is also a good one. Why are you... You're cooking like crazy hard with all the bingo suggestions today, Dane. Damn. The head of an archduchy could not be left to lead the life of a bachelor forever. He's not living the life of a bachelor, he's living the life of a warmonger. Hello, you gotta choose one. If he's constantly at war, then obviously he's not fucking hanging around the strip club. Like, what? Oh my god, the floating violin? I know it's probably supposed to be like a violin statue, but like, why even bother to put that there? That was so unnecessary. At some point, I want to like rank all of these on a in a tier list. One thing though, I do fear that I will have to look at them again because I will not remember them off based off of name alone. They're just all the fucking same. just re-regurgitated. You were chosen as his partner thanks to your suitable age and status. Didn't I tell you? You did not. Oh, yeah, the impotent or gay. Yep. Yeah, no, that's too frequent. But you know who's gonna change him. You know who's gonna make him straight. The main character. Yep. She's just that pretty. Yep. You know, if someone is not attracted to the gender that you are, that just means you're not hot enough. Because their opinion would be changed if you are. That's a joke, by the way. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. Oh, my bad. Went too far back. But yeah, I wrote that one on my list too. I see. Well, now you know. Make sure you are prepared. Alright. Well, now you know. Make sure you are prepared. Father, please, wait a moment! If that is the case, I will take responsibility and oversee the preparations myself. I'm counting on you. This conversation is over. That's supposed to be a sort of like fucking a declaration of power. This conversation's over. There was barely a conversation to begin with, my guy. No, there was barely a conversation to begin with. There was just like no conversation anyways. Now, dear father, let us discuss my upcoming birthday party. Of course. I'm sure Callan, bro. Party is a far more pressing issue than my marriage. Was she eating two edamame and fucking like 5 carrots? Yes, no, of course. My favorite 5-course dish. No, it's more than that. Oh my god, they're using the like pre-made eye things. You can have like yeah, evil sibling. Yeah, I wrote that one. They're using like you can have like pre-made pupil stamps that you could put on characters. That is almost guaranteed to be one of those. To them, I'm someone whose mere presence is unnatural. It's always been like that. Man, I'm not even... Of course. Yeah, no. It's always the dad hates the kid because the mom died. I gotta add that. Bro, dying of childbirth or the kid dying was so common. If they stopped celebrating birthdays for that reason for everyone, like, so many people just would not have birthdays back then. Hello? Hello? Of course, yeah. Let me just put that in right now. How much do we bet? How much do we bet that the dad doesn't like her because he's too reminded of her dead mom? They look too similar. They always do the same thing. They're like, oh, dad hates me because I killed mom and shit. And it's like, bro. Bruh. Be so for real. Of course, the second wife is my stepmother. Well, yes, you can't have 2 biological mothers. That's kind of how that works, bro. She looks like a Barbie. Oh my god, I didn't even notice that build. That is egregious. Oh my god. Back when I was an ignorant child. Ah yes, the two edamame and the plate. Well, it seems there's a piece of chicken, so, you know. Bro. I wonder if she really fit. Typo! Does anyone have typo? There's a typo! She can't even use magic properly. Why is she blushing, by the way? Just randomly. Man, I really cannot be bothered with this shit, bro. It's not like we could send Kellen to the Archduchy. Why not, huh? They talk as if, oh, we want to send Callan or whatever her name is to the Duke, but then they're like, but we can't send her to the Duke. Okay, well, you gotta choose one. You want her to go or you don't want her to go, bruh. Anyways. Heh. Heh. Oh, precious Callan. Huh? Hey, princess. Mm. My dear sister over here is lovingly called the albatross around the Sonberg's family's neck by everyone. Oh my god. This might actually be the worst comic I've seen yet. It might genuinely be the worst one I've seen yet. Like, writing-wise. Reduced to a laughingstock because of nobody knows she exists except the king, apparently. So, like, how can that... What? 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 That's right, you did away with all my private tutors and reassigned them to your precious Callan instead. Trust issues? Yeah. Yeah, I'd say trust issues. Yeah, I do want to do something with the titles. I don't know exactly what to title. I don't know exactly what to title it. I want to do something where it's like they own, you're so owned, you got roasted, but it's like you really did. The story acts like, oh, this is, you got. About what? About what? There's literally, this nothing burger, bro. Deciding on my marriage without ever mentioning anything to me is just another way of protecting dearest Callan without losing face in front of his majesty. I've never been anything but a convenient tool for you. How dare you insult your father? What? Insult where? Insult? Perish the thought! Okay. Merely stating the facts as they are. No offense intended. Well, intent doesn't dictate offense, bruh. You're going to be hindering me every step of the way. You can't complain when you get a taste of them. Oh. What is she? Wait, where is she looking up, bro? To the fucking camera? Hello? 1 month later. Who said 3D horse? Who said 3D horse? Oh my god. It's got everything. No, but it's got everything. What the fuck? How is this possible, bro? Oh my god. That was, yep, no. That's, of course, the one maid that loves her, bro. I am filling my page with bingo boxes, like potential bingo options, concerningly quickly. So, uh-oh. My lady. I'm a seer now. I think you're the seer here. The 3D horse was impressive, bro. The 3D horse was impressive. I don't know how you smelt that in the air, but you did. You did. In fact, to honor that, I was like, do I put do I put a square only for the horse? Because I mean, like, you know, backgrounds are pretty vague, but horse is a lot more specific. But to honor your foresight, I must put the horse. I can't not put the horse. You literally predicted that shit. First episode, they got a 3D horse. Sorry. I burped. I don't know if my mic got that, but gotta be polite about it. Gotta be polite about it. Anyways. Yep. I can't believe I will be living with the warmonger himself. He's that much of a warmonger, but he's got 2 adoptive kids? Who's taking care of the kids? I mean, I guess they literally said it. He's just gone. The kids are just like, I guess the servants. Blah, 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 blue, blue, blue. Of course, yeah, no, you're in the fucking north. You're going to see Duke Iceberg. And, you're not even wearing socks? Not even tights are pretty warm. If you just had like tights, I feel like you'd be good. No? Welcome, Your Grace. Your Grace, she's the daughter of a duke, not a duke. Whoa! I heard tales about it, but but there really is so much snow. There's no snow. There's not even snow on the roof. You just put snowflakes in the air. You couldn't even be bothered to fucking paint snow onto the roof. There's nothing, bro. If there was so much snow, you would have had to come here in a sleigh. You know what? That's the thing. There'd be so much potential with if they actually made like they actually made these places that cold. They should like take inspiration from like really fucking cold places and go all in. Like, look at how people prepare for the cold and deal with the cold in like Siberia and shit. That would be kind of interesting, and then they could like have to deal with that, bro. Oh, he's just, oh, my bad. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know you were just going for a coffee around the corner of the street. Damn. My new home starting today. Holy shit, bro, you're literally dressed like a jester. You are actually dressed like a jester with a fucking collar and shit. What? Where can I find His Excellency about that? Identify yourself? What the fuck is this guy crying? What? CL Phantom High! Unless... Dude. Why is he crying? Has he never seen a woman before? Do they not have fucking women working in the manor? Hello? I'm His Excellency's bride. Okay. Had to get in the combo. Yeah, I'd say proportions out of whack, because she's looking hella funky most of the time, bro. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, in this one, her chin, like, her neck's long enough for her chin to stick out, and this one, it's not. Man. No way! Bro summoning more snow in the snow. What the fuck you gonna do with that shit, bro? Also, why even bother use magic? Just pick it up from the ground, bro. There's snow on the ground, but instead of picking up the snow on the ground, I'm gonna go to the grocery store and get snow. Why are we taking detours for no reason, bruh? I haven't heard anything about His Excellency getting married. Holy shit, proportions out of whack indeed. Indubitably. Holy crap. Youch. Even if that were true, there'd be no way he'd choose someone like you. People, he's an archduke. You think he's getting married for shits and gigs, bro? Oh my god, the frills, bro. I'm pretty sure I have these exact frill brushes in Clip Studio Paint right now. Leave at once, you swindler! Okay, that could have been a comma, but whatever. I just arrived, however, and got myself into this mess. The answer's simple. They should have just fucking told the kids you were coming. Clearly, the butler or whoever it was, the entrance, was like, oh, well, you know, he's not here right now. And the kids showed up. Why didn't he tell the fucking kids, bruh? Why didn't he tell the kids, bruh? Man. Now, let's all calm down and talk it out, okay? First of all, I'd appreciate if you could dispel that dangerous spell that is targeting me. Does this level of magic really scare you? Why are you saying that? Isn't that the fucking purpose if you went through the trouble of summoning that? There's no way a spell of this caliber would pose a threat to a noble proclaiming to be the Archduke's wife. Get these kids, like, a toy. A game. There's no way he's talking like that if they got one book that isn't the dictionary. Like, you have to, like... Like, bro has to be reading the fucking thesaurus in his spare time. I mean, she arrived in a carriage, and also... No commoner would wear shit that fucking gaudy, bro. You don't know who we are? Why? What is the, what? Where are you wearing shorts in the fucking north? What? Okay, her excuse, she's not from here. These guys literally live here. Why the fuck are you not wearing something more suitable? And yes, you are more tolerant to cold when you live there, but that doesn't mean you're built like a polar bear. Sons of the former Archduke. Okay, so they're the sons of the Duke's dead older brother. Okay. Instead of adopted sons in the description, they just could have put nephews. No? Okay, we get the lore again. Thank you. Yeah, no, I couldn't. I'd forgotten. I'd forgotten, so I'm glad to be reminded of the lore again. Yep, thanks. I'd be their stepmom. What? What is going on, bro? Wasn't she wearing a coat? Why is she just like only wearing the dress now? What? His face looks different in every panel. Okay, well, no cost or consequences, more like for the plot than the outfit, but I should add one for like nonsensical outfit. If it was just her, we could have brushed it up to style, but like, come on. The episode's budget went in her eyelashes. Oh. My name is Elsa! Okay, buddy. Why is he still crying, dog? If you're that scared, go back inside. Literally, no one called you outdoors. Fucking Wilbert, okay. Unfortunate names, to be that young and be called Wilbert and Hugh, okay. I'm fucking like 5 and 10 or something. It's not fine! What is going on, bro? Now they're suddenly accepting it? What? What the fuck is this comic, dog? Thoman? Okay. No, you know what? Okay. You already know what I'm gonna say, bro. Height difference? That's more for like main character and love interest. Oh my god, the assets are especially egregious. God damn, they turned her into a fucking volleyball, okay. His mother was a frail constitution. Well, what a coinkydink, so was hers. Become bedridden from the smallest of injuries, so please bear with it for the sake of his peace of mind. Can't you just tell him? What the fuck? Oh my god. Yeah, tonal whiplash is another good one. Yeah, it's another good one, yeah. Bro, they're just trying to make it serious with her having a fucking volleyball on her head. She's really wearing that, like, Barbie dress. Supposed to be last week, but he hasn't returned since. My goodness, is he not worried about the children? Well, there's, like, at least one adult in the manor to take care of them, so... Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter! He adores them, but recently he's been unable to blah blah blah, blue blue blue. I didn't ask. I don't care. I don't care. Where did he get like blue hair from? If his dad had like gray, black hair, and his mom was blonde. So he adores them? Rumors don't capture his essence entirely. No, that's almost as if that's what rumors do. Isn't that crazy? That's almost as if like rumors don't capture someone's nuance because they're just like one thing. But people have many things. What? Oh my god. Competent adult rare. Yeah. I'll consider that one. It might be too rare. It might be too rare is the issue. Is what I'm thinking of. It might actually be too rare to include on the card. Eureka, what? You know, you really don't have to try to get on my good side, what? What? I mean, I guess it does make sense for her to be, socially inept. My bad, allergies acting up. Bro, me too. The volleyball head is really getting to me. It's over. No matter what I do, I can't bridge the gap between us. That's another one I wanted to add. Animals as emotions. Alright. Also, if I manage to have the time, I will work at least a little bit on editing this weekend. I don't know how far I'll get, but I have recorded a video already. So I just gotta work on editing that. And I do want to try a thing where I where I share like an extended version. I don't know if I'll post it before or after, but a lot of the stuff, especially with just me yapping in the middle while I read the comic, cut that out. It was long, which is why I didn't stream it. I recorded it in like multiple sittings. But I'm thinking I could like release it because it is pretty similar to the VODs anyways. But I think I'd release it on the second channel just because I can't put it with the live streams and whatever. You're going on way too fucking strong, by the way. Like, what? His favorite food? Holy shit, that hair is like straw. What is it? He can't even talk? Information gathering spree. Bro. What? All the servants in this manor are unusually muscular. I wonder if they take after their lord. You haven't seen him, bro. You haven't seen him. Hello, Greg. Good to see you're doing good. Mr. Wilbert used to love carrot cake. Carrot cake is baller, though, I will say. You know? Same with zucchini cake, but I like carrot cake more. I haven't had it in a long time, though, because my fuck-ass lore. uh, my food processor broke and I did not get another one. And like, you got me messed up if you think I'm shredding all those carrots by hand. Absolutely no way. Just, oh yeah, let me just put ugly bastard on the card. Holy. One might argue his proportions are still better than hers, though. So, I assume you mean, like ugly bastard, like the guy, not just a guy that's ugly. Like like ugly bastard. I assume, but still, it's anyway. True that you mention it, but after her ladyship. Oh, I mean, Lady Clara. Why would you clarify that? Except to, like, try to weirdly info dump her name. What? Dang it, not like this! Nothing. Why does he look like that? He's kinda scary, bro. What the fuck? Bro. These comics have serious pacing issues. It's like, we had too much exposition, but we did not have any fucking intro. We didn't have any time to, like, get used to the manor, see the people. It's just like, nope. You'll give us 200 fucking panels of rumors about him, but you can't give us like 10 panels of you just like getting used to the manor and trying to talk to them. And like, why would you try to touch him, bro? The fuck is, bro? The pacing is so up. This is episode 2, and they're already like fucking besties or whatever. Also, that's not carrot cake, bro. That's fucking vanilla cake at best, maybe lemon cake. Also, if it was actually good carrot cake, there'd be nuts in there. There'd be nuts. It's not a peak carrot cake if there's no pecans or pecans, however the fuck you say it. Depends on who you're talking to, I guess. Or walnuts. There's gotta be nuts in there. I never said I liked it. It's just it had a familial flavor. Familiar. The region is called Iceberg? Oh my god, this is so fucking long, bro. It is said to be where his mom was born. What the fuck? Also, why would his mom be the one making the cake if she was noble? Bro. Nobility does not bake. That's kind of the whole point, no? The cake she used to make was dry and had a distinct bitterness to it. What the fuck? Now that you mention skin tone, actually, that reminds me. Didn't they make the skin tone of the chef darker? Isn't it a little strange that the one guy that's kind of supposed to be ugly and scary has a darker skin tone? So that's a little bit peculiar. Oh, Mother had never done any cooking in her life. Okay. Well, that makes sense. That bread is not staying on there, bro. Why is it that yours tastes so much better? Oh my god. What the fuck? What? I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is. You guys want baking tips? I'll fucking say it, bro. Um, as long as you know the basic components of a cake served to do. Recently, I've been low-key into making my own recipes, which I didn't do before. I usually just invent stuff, and then when it tastes good, it's like, well, that was good. Now I can never have it ever again. So, but anyways, basically, the smaller you make the carrots, the more moistness, the more humidity gets into the cake. So as long as you got that, you got like eggs or something to bind it, and you put a decent ratio of like sugar and salt, you've got like a decent cake here. You don't have to do that much, right? Butter can add some of that salty taste and also helps humidify, moistify shit. And then just throw nuts. It's really not that hard. It's really not hard, bro. Unless you like drastically over or under bake, which is so easily stopped. You literally just put a toothpick or a fork in there. If it comes out dry, it's done. That's it. That's like what are they making this whole fucking stink about a carrot cake, bro? It's not even complicated. It's not like an angel food cake. That shit is kind of complicated because you need like 12 egg whites. If you get any of the yolks in there, you won't be able to whisk it properly with the sugar to get the fluffy texture. You need like, what's it called? Like cream of tartar or something. I forget the exact name. Helps with that, the lift, the texture. Anyways, it is really good though. If you do manage to nail angel food cake, you just put like whipped cream and fresh fruit on there, and it's ballin'. Anyways, I had a crazy baking phase when I was in like 7th grade, because I used to watch like MasterChef, and I was like, I'll be a professional baker. And I made everybody's birthday cakes in my family. And I even went crazy, bro. I went with fondant and everything. I made Thor's hammer. I made fucking, what's it called? Jolnir or whatever. For my brother, because he used to love Thor. So Thor's pretty nice. I liked Iron Man more personally, but Anyways. Even know about crops or harvest. How does she, bro? How does she know that if she didn't have a tutor and she just stayed in her room? And the heir to the Archduke title. Just say the heir to the Archduchy, bro. What the fuck? No, this face. This face, man. I want to do something. Wait, you know what? I just had a dastardly thought. I would set a cooldown for it just so people don't go crazy, but instead of having people pay to redeem things like in a Twitch chat, you can like redeem either points or pay, I might make a command to play sound effects. That way you guys can play sound effects when something happens. Now, it might cue them up and it might not line up exactly, but it could still end up being funny even if it doesn't play the right time. And I do love me a sound effect. Same with VFX, actually. I could have a thing where you can, like, set VFX up. That could be pretty sick. I gotta look into that, bro. Usually I say that stuff and I write it and I'll post it and I lose the post-it, but now it's on my notebook. And I can't lose that, so we're all good. My mother passed away while giving birth to me. As a result, I have no memories of her. I'm not sure where you're going with this. What the fuck do you mean? A lot of these stories care too much about, like, they're like, oh, mother died or whatever. Your mom probably, if you were, like, actually, if you're being accurate, your when you were younger, white-haired savior. Remove the haired and you might be onto something. But, yeah, anyways. I don't know what is going on. A lot of these stories, it's like, my mom loved me so much, she took care of me, and it's like, no. it was a wet nurse dog. So I learned to make carrot cake as well. That looks store bought. That does not. That looks like a store bought lemon cake. God. Wait, you know what I realized? I don't even think I have a bingo slot for the patterns. And I always fucking complain about flat patterns, bro. It's literally part of a video where I made where I just complain about my biggest issues, and I don't have that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, now she's lore dumping on this kid. Lemon cakes are also good. Let me say, this is not lemon cake slander. Lemon cakes are also good. Um, yeah. I mean, all cakes are good cakes as long as you make it well. You know, it sounds sounds like a given, okay? But there's a balance to it. You know, there's a balance to it. It depends. You know, you gotta plan. A lot of people don't plan for icing when they make a cake, and then it's too sweet with the icing. And also, a lot of people will use store bought icing on their homemade cake, and it's like, that's fine if you're trying to save on time, but if you want ultimate flavor, it is well worthwhile making your own cake because your own icing for your homemade cake because that shit hits, brother. It goes crazy hard. Yep, no, if we had artificial sugar on the artificial sweetener on the fucking board, well, just want my brother to have some as well, blah blah blah. Him and his brother look at nothing. Anyways, what? That's so. Holy shit! The staff gotta spend 200 years lighting all these candles. God damn. If you're good at baking, then you'll be good at ratio. Ratio? Is this the Yandere kids or what? Of course, instead of just showing us that, okay, show don't tell on the bingo board. Yeah, dragged on convo is a generally just is generally one. I've been thinking I don't want the boards to be too specific, but I did want to make it specifically like isekai bingo board and then just like a romance fantasy bingo board because the tropes are somewhat different. But yeah, that would also fit on there. And I want to do an action one. I actually have an action one, but I need to transfer it into list format so I can like use a bingo board generator. Because right now I have like a picture of it, but it means it's like the same card for everyone. So said it has everything, but what about the slur? Hey, it's not too late. They could always throw in a little slur in there, you know? They could always throw a little slur in there. It says slur, but I'll accept slur adjacent words as well. Oh, accidentally took a small nap. What I miss? Just more of every trope. Just more of every trope. So nothing crazy, but also crazy because this might be like the worst comic I've seen yet. The pacing is the might be the worst I've seen. Maybe it was too presumptuous of me to think we could be family. Maybe give it more than like 2 weeks. Should have put that one as Takano Jutsu. Damn. if I do set up the boards again, I want to like review it so that some of this stuff is like more intuitively named. And I've been thinking about this since the bingo boards were a thing. I'd like it if I could like because there's gaps, you know, obviously the comic's only in the middle, and there's a big gap this side. What I'd like to do is if I could like set it up so that when I call a thing, it appears on the side. That way, if you join late or if you fall asleep or whatever, when you tune back in, you can just look at the list and check anything you have off your board. You know, but I don't want to have to like type it out because that would take ages, and I would almost certainly forget. Lore omniscient is for like whenever they get like sent back to the past or sent to another world. That's like I read the book. I know the world's entire lore. I know how everything works. I know, like, they know, like, everything, basically. They know all of the world's lore. They know how the story goes. All of that stuff. They know a bunch of stuff about characters just because. That sort of thing. Should at least stay out of their lives and not bother them anymore. Master Hugh, why can't you get something simple so right? What's going on? Veiny ass hand? What? Of course, they're gonna be abusive servants. Yep, or tutor. Because the kid doesn't talk, I guess, because he's mute. What? Speaking of jutsu, well, maybe I should say jujitsu. Let me cook, okay? Let me cook. Let me cook, okay? Let me cook. Glasses, anyone? Worst fucking segue ever, but all of that for what? All of that for the smallest payoff. Don't say I don't try. Don't say I don't try. Why can't you perform such simple magic after everything I've done as your tutor? And you dare claim to be of the iceberg bloodline? You can't even sink a damn ship, much less the unsinkable ship with Leonardo DiCaprio. Ugh. Sorry, sometimes I'll just silently do like the rock side eye or like the Riz face and forget that that is not exactly captured. Not even a word of apology for your shortcomings. Not a good look for someone of your standing, I must say. Oh, right. Shouldn't be expecting an apology from a failure who can't even speak. Perhaps you don't understand. But in our empire, and in the Archduchy as well, it is strong, beautiful, and delicate magic that determines the worth of those with noble blood. Okay, well, why are you saying that, bro? He's from this place. He would know. Ultimately become a stain on the iceberg name. You can't stain an iceberg, dumbass. Don't butt in. Hello, he's being abused. What the fuck? This is why I hate dealing with orphans. What the fuck? Tudor's words are boring. Nah, literally. I don't blame him. I'd be out of it too. Still wearing shorts, I see. Again. She so owned him. Literally just said, like, a normal type thing. It's really not that crazy, bro. Again, the fucking pupil stamp, bruh. I'm the only one who can help him. Apparently, all the others are incompetent. No one has noticed this for some fucking reason. With my education, okay, maybe my curriculum, but my education implies that you're the one on the receiving end. The lady of this manor, the mother to these children. No, you're not. What the fuck is this supposed to be, like a girl boss panel? Hello? You've been here for like 2 weeks and you're not even married to the guy yet. What the fuck? Not to make the same joke again, but I'm gonna make the same joke again, guys. Not to make the same joke, but I'm gonna make the same joke. Not to make the same joke, but I'm gonna make the same joke again. Ah, yes, we can finally see the height difference. You're right. You have a recommendation. Please play Routine. Dead Space good. I can't promise anything, but I will write it down. Alright. Right, we can see his height now. His height difference. Oh, bro, the way they draw her, man. Okay, now the question is, do we continue? Also, damn, Greg switched back to YouTube, huh? No more Twitch Greg, now it's YouTube Greg. Alright. Now, fellas, the question is, do we continue reading this comic? You're on both. Oh my god. You're dual wielding. Draw glasses. I do want to do that when I make another version of the model, whenever that is. But we can do something in the meantime. Let me not do that. Every time I do, it shows my fucking bookmarks and it'll expose all the bad comics I'm planning on reading. Just... Give me a minute. Maybe I can even make a toggle for it. But... Bro, the day I have a second monitor, I'm gonna be unstoppable. People won't even know what's coming for them, bro. I won't have to like remember to switch stuff around. I could just put it on another monitor. It's gonna be crazy. Okay. Now I just gotta remember to I just gotta remember to put these on whenever I fucking start doing... Oh, I gotta leave them oversized like the fucking nerds back in the day. Maybe I can make my own even. They won't follow me as I move. They won't follow me as I move. Not yet. I know I can fool around with that, but I will write that down. I'm writing all the recs you guys are given, okay? Trust. Oh, okay. Okay. Now, the only problem is I move a lot, but, okay. So, reset. Um, do we want to continue reading this? Or, and they're gonna be big, and ideally they're gonna have the band-aid in between the both of them. And if I could get, like, the, like, 3 even freckles on both sides, too, I'll try. I'll see. But I should be able to get the glasses at least. I know I can do that. I've never tried it, but I know it's a possibility. So, right. So, do we want to continue dealing with this? Is the question. Or do we do more? Oh, I can do a poll. I can do a poll. I can do a poll. Okay. I will try to see if I can make one on Twitch, but I don't know if it'll let me. I've already looked, but I want to try to put a poll on both to be fair, to be even. Okay, but while I look on Twitch, I will start the poll on YouTube, which I've never done. A lot of firsts today. First crash, first poll. We're going crazy, okay? We're going crazy. Uh, okay, yeah. I don't know if I have the option to make a poll yet. Twitch said I'm not popular enough for a poll. I'm pretty sure I looked up a tutorial and okay, yeah, you need to be an affiliate or a partner. Darn. Um well, you can write in chat if you have an opinion on Twitch. Sorry. I would I would put a poll, but that's against the law. Oh, maybe I can make a command to let you vote through the chat. Let me write that idea down. I gotta look into that. I don't know if that's possible though, but that way, don't need the platforms. We don't need the platform's approval to get funky with it and have fun. We get funky on our own. Okay. All right. Yes, Greg, you decide. All right. Alrighty. I suppose we'll continue. Twitch, this is your chance to oppose. In the meantime, that egg from earlier, like 2 hours ago, should be cool now. So I'm gonna go get myself one hard-boiled egg. You know what, Goon? Thanks for that, Greg. I really needed to hear that right now. Oh my god. The sink. What would I do without Greg hopping in just to drop the word goon and nothing else? You know what I mean? Alright. Yeah, I don't know who Sorajima is, but I think that's the biggest watermark I've seen at the end of a comic episode, so I guess they were really proud of this one. Wonder why. Oh. In case anyone's wondering, I'm not having the egg right now. I already had the egg. Now I'm having a mandarin. It's basically just water. It does not taste a lot. Even the mandarin tastes like water. Am I right, fellows? Remember to drink water, by the way. Speaking of which, you might get to see the height differences. Now they call him Your Grace? Why'd they call him His Excellence before? What? Yeah? You want to read with us? Yeah? Alright. Alright. Miet is with us. You guys better watch your language. She's not even one. So, favorite character in the story? Probably not, because she's not, like, reincarnated. That's usually for, like, isekai ones, where it's like, I've been reincarnated in my book. In my favorite book, and with my favorite character. We probably would have had better odds for that one if we went with, what's it called? The one we looked at first. One of the ones. My bias is obsessed with me. Because it's looking like fantasy, but also bias, so I don't know. Yeah, but like usually I mean the square means that's when the main character, like the love interest is the main character's, yeah. Like when that's what I mean, when the main character's reincarnated into a story they like, and the love interest was their favorite character in that story, is what I meant. Sorry. And you are. Didn't he just hear her proclaim that shit? Was it talking to you? Ah, yes. The boots with no texture. About like 1/8 of an episode in, and I already regret the decision of continuing to read this one. Not gonna lie. I don't think I'll go further than episode 5. Just for that reason. Alright, switching it up. Your Grace! What the fuck? Nerd. You were saying, bro just ignored the kid. Man. Man. Oh yeah, I could take I don't think the polls expire. I think I gotta end it. Alright. One person did say find another, which I'm considering. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. Definitely not. There's way too many episodes. Regret is for cowards. Well, maybe I'm a coward, okay? Because I don't know how much more of this shit I can take. I gotta be honest. Height difference? Ayo! Ayo! Ayo, you got your height difference. I will read at least till episode 5 of this comic. I just don't know if I will read further. I'm not gonna, like, I won't go back on it. I just might not go that far. But, anyways. Why'd they look the same height now? What do I do now? How about you just literally tell him what you were gonna say? What? Miet is back. I don't know what she's doing. She doesn't usually stay very long, but... Oh, I almost forgot. Already made up my mind. Does this guy don't... You called yourself the lady of the house and you're not married yet? Yes. Yeah. But it was clearly just because the... Man. Miet, what are you doing? Maybe you gotta choose. Okay. She's just rolling around in my arm. Twitch. What's twitching? Slander! To protect the manor's property. What the fuck? I know who you are. You're the so-called albatross around the Soderbergh's family's neck. No fucking way, bro. That you would remember the exact wording of that? Damn, bro. Next time I want suggestions to add to the board. I could just go through this chat. I will have all of them there. I'm writing them down still. But if I ever want more, I just gotta read this. Who's evil? I wonder. When he looks like that, I wonder. Ah, yes. I wonder indeed. Wow, that's, I sure do wonder who the evil one could be. That's not how ears work, but okay. But okay. What the fuck is this, dog? What is this? What is this? My dad, his version of brain rot is he'll put on dramas of various kinds. This could be like those like police dramas or those like lawyer dramas where it's like, oh, we're going after the like CIA type knockoffs and like shows and all of that. And sometimes he'll listen to like soap looking things, and like this sounds like something I'd hear play from his phone. Bro thinks he's so cool again. Indiscriminately freezes both friend and foe. Well, he didn't even freeze anyone right then. He froze no one. What the fuck is... Okay, they decided to go crazy for the wedding, bro? Soaked tampon type of dress, what the fuck? Oh my god, they dressed her like a used tampon. What? Reminds me of a few years ago, this one or a farming slave. You know what? Might have to include that one because there's too many. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Give me a second. Right. So this one boy group called Enhypen years ago at this point did a performance where they were dressed like this and people said they look like used tampons. So a little bit of a spot the difference here, huh? She blends right the fuck in. She blends right in. In fact, matter of fact. Also, I wasn't sure if it was pad or tampon. Ignore the search, okay? Ignore the search result. Matter of fact. Okay? Matter of fact. Matter of fact. You might see where I'm going with this. Okay? Low ass res picture, but that's fine. I cannot be bothered to look into it for now. Doing this with my mouse. So, how good this will be, you know, let's just say mileage varies, okay? Your mileage varies. Bruh. Hello? I swear this is gonna be quick, guys. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. I guess we're doing it. We're good. We're doing it the old way. I won't say the good way, but the old way. Okay. Let me cook. Let me cook, okay? Spot the intruder. Impossible edition. No, but spot the intruder. Impossible edition. That's true. She's a little too reversed. She's a little too reversed. Let me. All right. Now we're talking. She's one of them, for real, for real. She just like me, for real, for real. Twins. They're twinning. Don't worry, we're getting back to it. Right. Tonight is a polar night. More fucking info dump. No glorious. The sun can supposedly remain below the horizon for several months now. Where'd they get the guess from if it's so sudden? The fuck is this? What? Why is he making her float? If so, for what purpose? Is he trying to get a panty shot? Like what? I just realized my pop filter was not on this entire time, so maybe my audio quality was dookie. A man of his stature. Height difference indeed. That haircut, bro. Of course. Why is he acting all romantic and shit, bruh? Damn, they didn't. You know what? They should have dressed him like in Hypen, bro. They should have dressed him like that. Then they would have really matched. He should have been dressed exactly like them. So the inverse of her. His name is Rolf Iceberg? Oh, hell nah. What? You love and cherish. It's a fucking formal wedding, dog. Especially one ordained by the king. Isn't it just kind of like, yep, it's official now. We sign. Who cares? Literally no one cares. Why? They're trying to speed run. They're trying to be like, they're trying to get all the good kush without having to work for it in the story, like the like domestic bliss and shit, without working for it. But the thing is, there's no payoff if you don't work for it. If anyone has no cost or consequence. Oh my god! Whoa! 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 Okay. I don't know if I could show that on stream. Give me a second. I'm gonna find a picture to censor that, and I will have a look. And if it's not bad, then I will show it. But if it is, then well, I can't be showing that. Duh. Give me a second. All right. My bad, guys. I just gotta. Okay, it doesn't really get worse. It's just well, exactly it's the tropey fucking gooner bait shit they like to pull. Okay. Sorry, it started us back at the start of the episode. Um I tried to do the how did I end up like this fucking type of thing, okay? Huh? How did I end up like this? You just lived it. Duh. And then it's like, he's like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything. Also, I don't want kids. Okay? How would you know what's most important to raising kids, by the way, bestie? You don't have any, and you also never had parents. So, right, so that's it. What? Also, he's like 10. Why is there an implication that he knows what they're gonna do and he's trying to save her? What the fuck? What is this comic, bro? This is the last episode we're reading, by the way. I don't think any of us can deal with that. I, in fact, cannot. So, that's, yep, that's, yeah. The fuck, why does he look like that? What? Well, well, that was sure something. You know? If anyone ever asks you to summarize this comic, well, you know what you can say. Okay, well, never mind. I was gonna put the fucking thing I did in the. But, I'm not seeing it, so. Yep, no match in hype and outfit. My bad, guys. I know you were looking forward to seeing that again. Mm. Well, this might actually be the worst comic I've read to date. Like like writing wise. Like as in like quality. Not as in like the worst content wise, but the worst writing wise. I will say. The art's also not like the worst or anything, but writing wise, it is I think maybe the worst I've seen yet. At least I will say for Webtoon officials. We're not counting Jeff's disorders in here. Unfortunately, no borderline slurs or slurs. Don't want to say the word because there's a lot of anti-indigenous connotations, but this word, which has been used to dehumanize indigenous people, if that one showed up in the story, I would have given you the slur because whether it's a slur or not is not for me to decide. It's got the characteristics of it. It is a symptom and a tool of systemic oppression, and that's basically it. But, you know, we could keep going with this fuck-ass bingo forever, bro. I am a villainess, but I won't live like one. You know? The Grand Duke's bride is a warrior from hell. You know what? The villain just wants to live in peace. You know what? Maybe I'll open all of these so that next time they're all locked and loaded. If you see any particularly bad ones, I'm always open to suggestions. Or if there is a good one, but I usually read the good ones myself, unless there's like, you know, they're like a very like entertaining or short read, because I don't want to read the entire, you know, thing. But you know, yeah. What else? That's almost definitely another one. Do I have this one open? Nope, I don't. They're all too similar. They're all too similar. They're all the same. They're all the same. The most tropiest trope of the webtoon trope, yep. Every trope ran so that this webtoon could shart. And that really makes you think. Yeah, so, since I am very slow because I read everything, like, and I try not to skip much. Thank you for your quick return and even quicker goodbye, Greg. I'm gonna end the stream soon enough, but, you know, again, off stream, I'm gonna do some homework, okay? I don't want to say that I'll do it by next stream, but, you know, I want to finish the prize, obviously, for the first bingo winner, so that, you know, I want to keep up, because that way, when there's a next winner, oh my god, the Northern Duke needs a warm hug. Hello? Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. There's a lot. We'll never run out. I'm literally just looking at romance fantasy, so. When the Archduke's leash is pulled. Excuse me? Okay. No, I think some of these are worse than others, so what I might do is try to do like a preliminary sort. Just on my own, see if I can like look at the first episode really quick. And if it looks like it would be like a good, like interesting for a webtoon bingo, or that it's just bad enough that it's like noteworthy, I might pull that out. I might try to do that, but again, no guarantee there. And again, the other stuff, I do want to like work on the board, look for a site. I have that all in my notes. Whether I will have the time to do that before the next stream or not remains to be seen. But anyways, like I said last stream, I want to stream more, like, relatively frequently. My goal is to do at least once a week, ideally once or twice a week. And I want to change up when in the day and in the week, one, because, well, things change, but also just to, you know, give people an opportunity to join, because I feel like if you always do it at the same time, then, you know, sometimes you always end up missing because you have work or you're asleep or whatever. So, oh my god, no. What is this? Man, don't get me started. But yeah, I have all of these noted, and I do want to do them at some point, but a wheel could be fun. Accidentally threw my pen. Wheel could be fun. I would like to look into that. Oh my god. I read part of this comic a while ago, like years ago. Yeah. It basically tried to pull a fucking True Beauty, where it's like, guys, appearance doesn't matter, and then the entire story just discusses how appearance matters. Anyways. But, yeah. Oh my god. Why are there so many, like, stories with erotic undertones in here? I grabbed the leash of the blind beast. What the fuck? What the frick? Whatever. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna end it now because I'm kind of tired. Talking for a while straight tires me out mentally, and also, oh my god, not the foot one. I keep getting distracted. There's too many bad ones. But yeah, either I'll like pre-scan them, maybe put them in a wheel, maybe I'll like vary what we do depending on how much time I got before I stream or whatever. But we'll find out. We'll find out. Anyways, thank you to everyone who listened and joined and chatted. It was nice. This comic is one for the books. That's for sure. Wow. I think I'm gonna start because there's increasingly more and more comics, and a lot of these are like the titles are so similar. I might start like a master list. While we've looked at. Speaking of eggs. All right. Thank you for joining, and see ya in the next one, fellas. Or maybe in the next video first. Who knows? But there will be a next video and a next stream. At some point. And I will let it be known when the time comes.